Can't afford leather for cosplay? Don't worry, let me show you how to make your foam look like leather. Hi, I'm Becky from Let's Make Geek Stuff, and today I'll be making leather bracers. In this first video, I'm going to show you how to give cheap craft foam that leather texture. For my demonstration today, I'm going to use 2mm craft foam, 6mm craft foam, both from just the craft store, and then also these inexpensive foam floor mats that you can get at hardware stores. We'll also be using aluminum foil, a heat gun, and an iron. And remember, whenever you're heating foam, make sure you're in a well-ventilated place or you wear a respirator. This aluminum foil is what's going to give us our texture. For a smoother texture, we're going to just wrinkle it a little. For a really chunky, deep textures, we're going to wrinkle it a lot. And I'll show you a couple different examples of that as I use these different thicknesses of foam. Now that I have my aluminum foil wrinkled, I'm going to heat up my foam with a heat gun. I'm going to put down a terry cloth so that I don't melt my work surface. I want to make sure that is good and hot. And now I am going to press down on the aluminum foil. I'm pressing with pretty much as much force as I possibly can. Okay, about 45 seconds has passed. I'm going to lift up my foam, and that is the texture that I have. I'm going to go through this same process with my 6mm foam, but this time I'm going to wrinkle up the aluminum foil even more. If you have a super hot heat gun, you'll probably want to wear gloves for this. Let's take a look. A much deeper pocked and textured look. And on this last example with this floor mat foam, we're going to do just maximum crinkle. All right, and that's the look. And now just to compare them side by side. Welcome to my laundry room. I've heated my iron up to its highest temperature, and I have a fresh sheet of aluminum foil. Now, this technique I like a little better than the heat gun technique because I think you can get a lot finer detail and you have more control over it. I'm going to wrinkle this aluminum foil, but for the higher quality leathers, they really don't have a deep texture. So I'm going to try to keep the texture on this one pretty mild. Let's start with the 2mm craft foam. And I'm going to apply the iron. I'm pressing down for 5 to 10 seconds, depending on your iron. Now on this 2mm foam, it tends to curl. So leave it there, don't peel it off the aluminum foil, and let it totally cool. And that's the texture. I want to try a similar subtle texture on this 6mm. I like that subtler texture. That might be a higher quality kind of leather. You may be asking yourself, but can you do the really chunky, deep textures with the iron technique? Well, let's give it a try. Let's crinkle up our foam, or crinkle up our aluminum foil. That's what it looks like. Actually, let's use that side this time. See what that turns out to be. And again, probably 10 seconds, a little longer on this since I'm dealing with a thicker aluminum layer. And let's peel it off and take a look. That's pretty cool. I like that. A few things to keep in mind if you're using the iron method. Don't ever touch the surface of your iron to the foam. It's gonna melt, it might ruin your iron, it's gonna stink and smell. Don't do it. Also, if you're using this thinner foam, be sure to apply the texture first and then cut out the piece, because applying this much heat tends to make it shrink and curl. And a final side-by-side comparison of all the different textures we were able to get today. These are the ironed ones. And these are the heat and press ones. With a little experimentation, you're sure to find the perfect texture for your project. Thanks for joining me on this tutorial. Follow this link below to join me for the next video on how to emboss foam.